Alright, so I pretty much forgot. Well, I really didn't forget. I had like company over yesterday, and I know that yesterday we should have done a live stream, but instead we've actually decided to take take the live stream and actually do it today instead of yesterday and all that. But yeah, the live streams every Sunday is still going really strong, and that's why we're doing the live stream right now as for today on Monday to basically pay back for yesterday when I pretty much had company over. But the live stream, as you basically can tell, is like we're going to be discussing about the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One family of devices, the 2013's eighth generation consoles, as I'm trying to say, and they they're really good consoles no matter what the odds are. Like even the OG VCR like Xbox One, it's still a really great console. I know games are not going to look as smooth as they do on like the base launch PlayStation 4, and that was a really big deal, especially with Microsoft and Sony and whatnot. Like Microsoft just out of the gate was all the time talking about like TV instead of the games themselves. And Sony, like out of nowhere, was like, hey, we got a more powerful console, and get this, also $100 cheaper. And it really just it made Microsoft like go down the drain quite a bit, is what I'm trying to say. But Microsoft has actually done some amazing things to try to catch back up, and like then even still then with the Xbox One, I still thought the Xbox One is was a fabulous console. Like it may not have a lot of exclusives like the PlayStation 4 does, but you got all the Forza Horizon games that the first Forza game that was on the Xbox One. You got Forza Horizon 2, Forza Horizon 3, which was a really great one. And then you got still the latest one, which is Forza Horizon 4. That game came out in 2018, basically just a year later after Microsoft released the mid generation Xbox One X. And the Xbox One X, especially, even the PlayStation 4 Pro, but mainly the Xbox One X, like the Xbox One X is a truly amazing piece of hardware. Like games that like come out for the Xbox One and they get 4K enhanced and everything. Like you can get a lot more games to run at a native 4K on the Xbox One X than you can on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But there are some good sides on the PlayStation 4 Pro that the Xbox One X literally does not have. And that is, of course, like the exclusives. I've actually gotten told, and I've actually heard as well that just the PlayStation 4's exclusives, even running on the base PlayStation 4, actually look better than Microsoft exclusives running on the Xbox One X. And that was actually from a couple YouTubers. But honestly, I kind of have to agree with them in a way, but then in some ways, I kind of have to disagree with them. But a good portion, I do have to agree, like, especially with games like God of War 2018, Horizon Zero Dawn, and heck, even some third party games like Red Dead Redemption 2 that you're seeing on the screen. And by the way, each of these exact live streams that we do, I'm going to start streaming like this way, where side will basically have the viewers and the comments below. So if anybody decides to that wants to ask me a question of like which console did I like the most or whatever, I'll actually see your comments right there on the sidebar right below my um right below my freaking avatar on PlayStation, which as you can tell it's the new Spider-Man freaking Miles Morales. But the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One literally had a really, really good lifespan, and their lives are not all over just yet. We still got quite a bit of time until the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One are completely dead in the ground. Like we got at least possibly probably 3 more years. So if you basically don't want to upgrade or basically can't right now and you are trying to make sure that you got something that is going to last you a minute, you're pretty much set to go because the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, they're not going nowhere, not anytime soon. But if you have like a PlayStation 4 Pro or even an Xbox One X, then I wouldn't even hesitate to upgrade already because you pretty much already upgraded. So you got basically tons of more power right there than what you would get on the base consoles. Now, the PlayStation 4 going to there to the PS4 Pro is definitely not as big of a jump as going from the original Xbox One to the Xbox One X, but it's still a really, really impressive jump over the base PS4 going to the PS4 Pro. I mean, this game may not look the greatest on the PS4 Pro as you would see on the Xbox One X, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is it still plays it still plays better, it still plays smoother overall. It's still a better overall experience on the PS4 Pro than if you were to play it on the base PS4. So it still gets a really, really good advantage and whatnot over the base PS4. But also, another thing about the exclusives is honestly, the exclusives, like I've mentioned, that I've actually got told and heard on a couple YouTubers that I watch, of meaning of how the exclusives look better on the base PS4 than the exclusives running on the Xbox One X. Um, the exclusives are still really, really impressive, especially played on the PS4 Pro with like 1440p, like Uncharted 4, which we're right now actually in the middle of finishing up Uncharted 3, which we are almost done with, I'm pretty sure. And as soon as we get done with Uncharted 3, that is what we're going to be playing next is Uncharted 4. And Uncharted 4, it's really impressive to look at that game on the base PS4. Like, that game just has really good detail, really good anti aliasing, and like, Uncharted 4 just looks, even still to this day, if you were to play it on the base PS4 at 1080p, the game still looks phenomenal. Like, I'm not joking. But on the PS4 Pro, that's actually one of the exclusives that only runs at like 1440p at like upscale 4K and all that. But I can still see that it looks way, way crisper than it does on the base PlayStation 4. And the frame rate is a lot better on there too. So that's one good thing I really like about the mid-generation upgrades, and that's also what brings the question that a lot of gamers are trying to find out is if Sony and Microsoft are going to do that again with the Series X and the PlayStation 5, which there has been patents pointing out that there will be a PS5 Pro in sometime in like 2023 or 2024, but we really don't know if that is the case or not. We don't know if there's going to be another mid-gen upgrade, but I've actually heard both ways. I've heard we are going to get another mid-generation cycle upgrade with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, and then I've also heard from a couple YouTubers that we're not going to get another mid-generation upgrade because the PS5 and the Series X right now are super powerful that you won't need to make a better powerful console in the middle of a console generation's life cycle, which honestly I would really love to see another mid-generation upgrade, but at the same time, I kind of don't because really the games to me they technically look already good as it is. I mean, the PS5 and the Series X are truly 4K 120 frames a second, very capable machines. Yeah, I know there's some argument that can be put up with that, and I know some people are going to be like, well, the Series X can do much more 120 FPS games, but there still is games that can play at 120 FPS on the PS5 as well. Dirt 5 is one. Borderlands 3 is another game that you could play at 120 FPS on the PlayStation 5. And Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is another game. Now, Warzone, you can only play at 120 FPS on the Series X, but if you were to play it on the PS5, you're only going to get 60, which really there's not that much of a difference between 60 and 120. 60 to me is still relatively smooth, especially when you've been gaming like on the PS4 and Xbox One for like the last 6 or 7 years with games only playing at like 30 FPS and a select few only playing at 60. 60 is still a really a smooth experience. Like I'm not kidding, and that's actually why I kind of hope that when the expanded and enhanced edition of Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out at the end of the year, or whenever the heck it's going to come out, Rockstar hasn't even announced or nothing of that game or anything yet. But when the expanded and enhanced edition of Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out for the new systems sometime towards the end of the year, I would really love to see Rockstar be able to get that game to play at native 4K at a smooth 60 FPS, which, don't get me wrong, I honestly do believe that that's how GTA 5 is going to run on the PlayStation 5 and the Series X, but we quite don't know just yet. I mean, who knows? Since it is a 7-year-old game and it originally came out on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, who knows what if Rockstar can get it to run at 120 FPS and 4K? That honestly would be really impressive, but I personally don't honestly think that they're going to get that game to run at 120 FPS unless Rockstar was to give us the graphical option, like if we want the best in graphics to play at true 4K, possibly with ray tracing, it'll only run at 60 FPS, or if we want to play at the 120 FPS, it'll down sample the resolution to 1080p without ray tracing, pretty much like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War can do. That honestly would still be impressive and still would be amazing to especially play that game even at the same resolution that it plays now on the PS4 and Xbox One, but being able to get it from 30 to 120 FPS, that still would be so freaking amazing. Like would not you wouldn't doubt it at all. But that's honestly what I think that Rockstar is going to do. Is they're probably going to get the game to run at a native 4K resolution, and it's going to probably play at 60 FPS. But like I stated, 60 FPS, it's still really smooth. You're still getting a super smooth experience even at a 60 FPS, which that's what most games are going to run on the PS5 and Series X. So, yeah. So, I know a lot of people have also asked the question is which console did I like the most out of the PlayStation 4 consoles and the Xbox One consoles? Honestly, my favorite console, honestly, I don't know. Because I've actually had a ton of fun with the Xbox One and especially the Xbox One X. which I have actually been playing a lot of Xbox One X over the last year or two or so. And honestly, with the Xbox One X and it still being a very, very true, capable 4K console, I still do hold to this day that the Xbox One X is probably going to be one of the best gaming consoles to be ever created. Now, the sucky part about that is that Microsoft announced almost a year ago that they are no longer making the Xbox One X in production no more. If you want to get a brand new Xbox One still to this day, you're just going to have to go and get a brand new Xbox One S. And honestly, I think it's the wrong way, but everybody's saying it is the right way, and especially with the way I'm hearing, I think it honestly is. But you would honestly think that they would have kept the more newer, powerful machine to basically last a little bit longer and then discontinued the less or powerful machine, but apparently they didn't. But then again, especially with the PlayStation 4, I do like the PlayStation 4 controllers a lot, and I think they're really, really comfortable. And honestly, I'm not a super, super big fan of the new PlayStation 5 controllers, which I know I'm going to probably get a lot of dislike on this video because of me not liking the PS5 controllers. But hey, it's just personal preferences and personal opinions. And honestly, the PlayStation 4 controllers to me are still really, really comfortable. I honestly think the PS4 controllers are 10 times comfortable than the PlayStation 3 controllers were. But the PlayStation 5 controllers, they're all right and everything. On I'll still most likely play them. They're not the like it's not like I hate the controllers a lot because personally I actually am starting to learn and get used to playing with them, but it actually is taking a bit of a while to get used to. But they're definitely better than like the PlayStation 1 controllers by far though. But the PlayStation 4 controllers I personally think is the greatest controllers ever. Honestly, the Xbox 360 controllers are really really good too, but honestly, the PS4 controllers they're just the greatest of all time, like no joke. But yeah, but other than that, not just because of the controllers on the PlayStation 4, also because I do like the dashboard on the PlayStation 4 a bit more than the Xbox One, mostly because it's just a very, very like simple design, and wherever you want to go, you can get there like that quick, very, very instantly. And on the Xbox One, you have to go to like if you're getting to a certain place, you got to go here, you got to go there, and you got to go there, and that's another good thing about the Xbox One is you got a lot more freedom. But with the PlayStation 4, it the dashboard is just basically just simple. And honestly, I really like both, but yeah, I kind of have to say I'd probably go with the PlayStation 4's user interface just because it's really, really simple and everything. But other than that, yeah, the PlayStation 4, especially with the PlayStation 4 Pro, it, the games still look way better than the base PS4, especially if you play like on like a 4K TV and this and that. You're still going to see a big difference in games playing from the base PS4 to the PS4 Pro. But yeah, so I know the question is like which console do I like the most? Personally, I have to go with the Sony PlayStation 4 Pro, mostly because the exclusives and because there's so many single player games that you can literally choose from, and the controllers are really, really comfortable, and games still look really, really gorgeous, like they do, and games actually kind of do load a bit more faster. Well, not faster, but like download a bit faster, and you can install your games on your discs a lot quicker than you can on the Xbox One. So the PlayStation 4 Pro, honestly, is my favorite console out of the 8th generation. But, yeah, so just send me down in the comment section down below of which 8th gen console did you like the most and did you play and did you enjoy the most, whether if it's the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 4 Pro or even the Xbox One X. So, yeah, just comment down below for those of you that end up watching this of which console that you honestly really like the most out of the four consoles of the 8th generation. I know it's crazy to say that there's four when there's really two, but you got to count the Pro and the One X as the mid-generation upgrade. So, but honestly, they really do still are really great consoles, and they still really hold up to this day, in my opinion. As of me recording this live stream right now, those are the two consoles that I technically do still play most of the time, at least for right now, until we get more games out for the PS5 and the Series X, which probably will be getting a bit more by the time this holiday season starts to hit. And speaking of the PlayStation 5, now you could also live stream on the PS5 and record videos off the PS5 as well. And that's actually what I'm actually possibly going to do too when we do get more games coming out for the PlayStation 5 and whatnot. Is I'll actually start to live stream a lot more also on the PS5 and not just the PlayStation 4 Pro. But other than that, yeah, the PlayStation 5 has basically got all of the successors that the PS4 had, especially the PS4 Pro. But the great thing about the PS5, and this is one of the big features that I did hope for the PS5, and it finally came true, is you can actually record 4K game clips at 60 frames a second compared to the PS4 Pro only being able to record at 1080p at 30 frames a second, which is a really big step up if you are a YouTuber and you are a PlayStation fan. That is really a big step up for you because now you'll be able to record 60 smooth frame rate games and be able to still maintain a native 4K. But there is a catch to that, and that means that your videos file sizes are going to be massive, and they are going to take a good minute to upload to your YouTube channel or Twitch or whatever the case may be. So just keep that in mind that even though you get the 4K and smooth 60 FPS while recording on the PS5, it's still going to be super big in file size, and it will still take up a bit of time for the videos to be uploaded to whatever platform that you basically record on. But other than that, that is a really big step up in the right direction for those of you that are content creators on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. And for those of you at the same time that are PlayStation fans, that is a really big step up. But the downside to that is what I meant is the PlayStation 5, if you want to live stream, you are only going to be able to live stream at like 1080p at like I think 60 FPS, but I could honestly very well be wrong and you might be able to live stream at like 120 FPS, but I don't see that happening. I really do not. I haven't live streamed not yet on the PS5 at all, but once we get more games that come out for the PS5, I will start to do some more streams here and there for the PS5 and not just for my PS4 Pro. But as far as I know, I think you can only do 1080p at 60 FPS as your live streams, which don't get me wrong, that is still a big step up over the PS4 Pro with only being able to broadcast at 1080p at like 30 FPS, but not a consistent 30, that's still a really step up if those of you that like to broadcast and stream your games and all that. But yeah, but other than that, like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, they are still really great consoles. You are not going to be getting left out at all. So, if you are wondering if there's still going to be games coming out for the PS4 and Xbox One and you don't want to buy a new console just yet, your luck is in because there's still going to be games coming out for PS4 and Xbox One at least until sometime in 2023 or possibly 2024 at the latest. So you've got quite a couple years left. So if you, like I stated, if you have a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X or both and you don't feel like getting the new systems, A, you got tons of power right there and you're good to hold off because you're not going to miss out on a lot. So, other than that, this is the live stream for today that we did. So, yeah, but like I stated, once we get more games out for the PS5, I'll start to do more live streams and some here and there on the PS5. But as of right now, there's like hardly any games out, and most of the games that are out for the PS5, you can already play them on the PS4. So just keep that in mind. So, but once we get more games, we will start to do PS5 streams off and on, and you'll see better visuals and better detail on the graphics and like a lot more on our games. So you'll get a lot more. But other than that, this is our live stream for today. So if you guys enjoy this live stream, please hit that like button down below and also hit that subscribe button for those of you that are new to the YouTube channel. And we will be sure to keep you guys posted with more content in the future. And also just comment down below of your thoughts of the live stream about either the Xbox One or PS4, or if you did get a PS5 or Series X, or if you have a Pro or an Xbox One X and you're still really satisfied. So just comment down below of your thoughts that we have discussed in this live stream. And also, like I mentioned, hit a like if you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe if those of you that are new to the channel. But without further ado, I hope you guys all enjoyed the stream. Have a wonderful, blessing day, and we will see you guys on the next video.